Hello, welcome back to the FPL Conservatory podcast and a very special Velkommen tilbaka to our Norwegian listeners. As you know, we are the one non-stop shop podcast for everything FPL. Whether you are after detailed analysis, completely unsubstantiated punts, or quality banter from a bunch of friends and pal, this is the place to be. So please like, subscribe, and get involved in any way you can, be it commenting, join the league, or just requesting raids nudes.
I had to mute, mate, after that first bit.
The one non-stop.
Can you read the first sentence again?
Well, welcome back to the FPL Conservatory podcast and a very special Velkommen tilbaka to our Norwegian listeners.
Classic.
All right. Shall I start? Keep
going, mate. Keep going.
Yeah, I think the podcast started, bro.
Yeah.
Keep going.
On this preview episode, we are joined by Jake, not as good as he thinks he is, Harris.
No, I hate that.
Sending.
Ray, I thought this was NFL Wildman. Joseph, past it Cummins.
Ooh, damn.
Ooh.
Wow.
Mason, Biker Grove.
Yeah, nice.
And I am your host, Jordan, leave my nan alone, Palmer. Harry isn't here. Something about trip away with his girlfriend. I really hope that's not my nan. So let's get into this week's preview. Jake, how are you planning on doing this week? Any transfers? Any captain choices? What are you doing?
Yes, I've made my transfer. I've gone Aubameyang to Kane. So Aubameyang is going obviously up to Anfield away. They might get a result there. I just can't see it, but obviously trying to increase the odds of my team doing well. Kane's got Newcastle at home. They seem to be having an absolute stinker, Newcastle. So I've transferred in Kane. Aubameyang is out, and Kane will be my captain for the week coming up.
Are you going to do that not every week, but most weeks if you can? Just keep swapping those.
No, I mean, I'm going to keep Kane now because there are a couple of other issues I've got to address. Like I wanted to keep my team set for at least 2 or 3 weeks to then assess who's actually out of form before making rash decisions. But the Kane-Aubameyang thing, just for the fixtures, they worked out really nicely. But I've got double Leicester midfield. I'm looking to reduce one of those, and I need to sort my defence out at the moment. So we'll be keeping Kane for the foreseeable future, even if they've got Arsenal away coming up. But I just fancy Spurs at Arsenal away. Yeah. So yeah, that's my plan.
All right, nice one. Ray, what about you? Any plans or transfers in the making?
Thinking about bringing old Pookie in.
Oh yeah, who for?
I think you should think about the wild card, Ray.
No.
Don't listen to Mason. Mason loves an early wild card.
Triple captain, mate. To be honest, I haven't really thought about it. I didn't know we were doing this, so I didn't give it any thought. Not gonna lie.
Fucking genius.
Guendouzi in then. That's what I'm hearing.
Possibly.
In that case, we'll swiftly move on.
Yeah, I'll get back to you on that.
Joe, what about you?
Oh, mate, where do you begin? Like, I took a -4 last week. It's just adding more fucking trouble. Like, I've got Wesley up top, man. Like, Barn. It's so weird I've won the title, you know what I mean? No, I've got Vardy, he's blanked 2 games. It's like his fixtures are still there, but I'm doing that thing where I'm going for fixtures over form. I don't know, I've got my 4th midfielder's Jorginho because I've got Dendoka. And he's getting like 1 point both weeks. I don't see him getting many assists. And Chelsea aren't in the best of form. Like, I can't take another -4. I'm going to wait till like Friday or something. Hope there's no injuries.
Wild card, man.
No, we'll see. I think I might try and save the sub and make 2 subs next week. But Friday night I'm going to panic and like bring like Joe Ellington or someone in. We'll just see.
Could be a good pickup, man. Not going to lie.
Spurs away, easy game.
Oh, well, it sounds like you got it all sorted out then, mate.
He sounds like he's having a mare, really.
He's having a mental breakdown, mate.
He's literally already gone. Mason, are you doing any better in your mental state than Joe is?
I am, mate. I am not making any transfers this week.
Oh, really?
I'm saving it. I'm going to do a double transfer next week. I will not reveal what that is because everyone keeps hiking up the price of players I want to get in and I just can't squeeze them in. But yeah, I'm going to save my 2 free transfers. I'm going to do a double transfer next week. And captain this week is Raheem Sterling at Bournemouth away.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with my team. I keep on thinking I'll change them, and then I think no, because they've not scored, they should score this week. So basically, I'm in my own head, and I've got no idea what I'm going to do. But I think it's going to be the mighty Salah captain, because he doesn't blank 2 in a row, surely.
Surely not.
Surely not. He wouldn't do that to me. Not my guy.
Right?
Yeah, right.
So yeah, sounds like we're all in good condition, mate. Looks like we all know exactly what we want to do.
I actually think I'd rather be in Ray's shoes right now and just ignore it all.
Just wing it.
Yeah. So one of the things that we were talking about is the price rises and the price falls. Has anyone noticed they seem to be going up a lot quicker than usual, or are we just imagining that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't all answer at once.
Don't answer at once, guys. Just calm down. You know?
I don't know. I don't know if it's just because. Excuse me. I don't know if it's just literally because, like, I've got my eye on a player and it's like boom, boom, 2 weeks in a row he's gone up. But I don't recall like players going up 0.1 every week. Like they just score a 0.1. They score 0.1. I always thought that took a couple of weeks for someone to be in form and then that sort of rally pushed the price up or pushed the price down. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what everyone else is thinking, but it just seems to be a lot quicker this year.
I just think because there's so many more people playing in the first game weeks. I just think that there's a lot more money moving around, and obviously there's a lot of people making different player transfers to the same player. So people might be taking out King, Jota, whoever they have up top, and everyone's putting in Pookie, causing his price to rise. I think that's what a lot of people are, and I think that's only going to happen at the start of the season. I think it will mellow out a bit. Like there's already been almost 10 million transfers made in FPL.
Well, 500,000 people nearly have put in Pookie. So
exactly. Like,
does anyone know how it is worked out when they increase the price? Is it like a certain amount of transfers in that week?
I think it's got to do with like
do it?
percentage. So if you say like they get 10% more people own them, then they go up like 0.1 basically.
Yeah, ownership comes into it definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not like if you go up by 100,000, it's like if you go up 10% sort of thing like that.
Right.
But it just seems to be. I don't know if Pookie was ignored at the start of the season or something, but he seems to have gone up way quicker than I was expecting, and I'm now stuffed.
I don't know, man. Like, if they were obviously going to score against Newcastle, like he obviously got a hat trick, but I just still think it's rash, like just jumping straight in there with the Pookie shout.
Yeah,
I agree.
No, yeah, definitely need to calm down and not make a rash decision. But with 6 million other people doing the same thing, it's tough to hold myself back. All right, well, moving on, let's go on to the sort of previews for each game. Joe, do you want to kick us off with Villa and Everton?
Yeah, sure. So it's a Friday night match. So make sure that you've set your team before 7 o'clock on Friday. Because if you're looking to wake up at Saturday morning, set your team, you've had a mare. It's going to be, I'd say, an interesting match. Both teams are not looking that great. I mean, it is contrasting form. So Villa with back-to-back defeats, conceding 5 goals in 2 games. And Everton, obviously, they've picked up the points. They're unbeaten and their defence is looking solid. But offensively, neither team's looking that great. We touched on it a lot, but last podcast. So Villa, they're creating chances. They had 22 attempts and they had 7 on target against Bournemouth. And Bournemouth aren't that good defensively, but they only scored 1 goal. I think we touched on the last podcast as well. I think this is like the make or break for like the Villa owners. So people have got McGinn, people have got Grealish, people have got Wesley. Shout out me in the 1% ownership.
I was going to say, mate, there's not many people out there with Wesley.
But wait, 1 in 100 people, and you're saying there's a lot of players that are playing the game. So
you and 60,000 other idiots.
There's a lot of idiots out there. Yeah, exactly. This is make or break for them. Like we keep saying, fixtures, Villa, they're good, but if you're a bad team, it doesn't matter what fixtures you've got. You're not getting the points. This game, I can see Everton nicking it, to be fair. I think they're solid defensively. I thought they'd be a bit shaky, but Mina's come in the team. He's like 5.5. I think he could be a good shout. He wins a lot of 50-50s, so if he gets a chance, he'll score. I'm going to keep Digne in my team. I might drop Wesley to the bench, play 4-4-2. I see this as it's not going to be a high scoring match either way. You're not going to get
1-0 sort of thing like that.
You're not going to get like that. So if you got Digne, I'd play him. I can't see Villa creating much, and the way that Everton defending is good. I've got my prediction as 1-0 to Everton, hoping for a Digne 40-yard worldie. But yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I think you might be, you could be in for some money there. Mason, do you want to go with Norwich v Chelsea?
Yeah, absolutely, Jordan. I'd love to do that.
Oh, thanks.
Right, let's get this straight off the bat. Right, Chelsea will not keep a clean sheet. Okay, so the Pukki transfers, I think, are justified for the next game. Chelsea look shocking defensively. There's a lot of pressure on them to do well. Back four has to play together at like barely at all through pre-season, and the first 2 games of the Premier League we've conceded. So clean sheets look few and far between for Chelsea. So obviously key people to pick out is Pukki. And if you listen to our last podcast, Cantwell as well, who's a very cheap Norwich creative player who got 2 assists in the last game. And then Chelsea side, there's a lot of rotation going on. I think the best bet is probably Mason Mount. He's like the only attacking player who's played full 90 in both matches, and the only player who's scored a goal for Chelsea this season. Avoid Chelsea defence, avoid Norwich defence, just in general. Obviously, they're going to probably leak quite a few goals if Newcastle manage to get one against them. Do you know what I mean? So Mount, Pukki, or Cantwell. Mason.
To be fair, Mason. Yeah, Mason.
Whoa. What?
Well,
Sorry.
What? Go on.
Because my secret sub is going to be like Jorginho to Mount, because I saw Mount in the last game and he is playing the number 10 role. He's getting offensively, and 6 mil with the fixes you have got coming up are decent. So, as a Chelsea fan, would you think it's a good shout?
Yeah, I think, like I said, he's the only player who Lampard has full confidence in. He's already managed him for a year, and he probably looks our best player. So, if you're gonna have anyone from Chelsea, I probably wouldn't. But if you're gonna have someone, then Mount is probably the best pick, I would say, because the strikers is just a no-go.
Do we know when Loftus-Cheek is due back? Because won't Loftus-Cheek play in that 10 role? Because I would prefer Loftus-Cheek in that role.
He's not back until next year, I don't think.
Oh, really?
It's long. Yeah, it's quite long.
Hudson-Odoi's back sooner than that, though.
Yeah, he's supposed to be back September, but I don't know when he'll be. He's back to trade in September anyway, so I don't know when he's actually back in the first team squad.
Yeah, I think those two it's a January job. They ain't gonna come flying back. Hudson-Odoi's not gonna come back and get a hat trick, is he? He ain't Pukki.
I mean, who is?
Who is the Finnish finisher?
Finnish finisher. All right. Brighton and Southampton. Jake, any thoughts on that one?
Just a couple of thoughts, man. Mind your own business.
All right. Well, moving on then. So Ray, we've got Man United. Go on, Jake.
Let's have a look. What have I got down here in my notes? So Brighton have started the season really well. They're actually unbeaten in their first 2 against Watford and West Ham. Definitely games last season that I think they would have lost. They definitely seem to be set up in a more attacking fashion under the new manager. And Trossard, 6 million. Not owned by that many people. In the last podcast, Mason said he was owned by less than 1%. But yeah, when you're comparing it to Mount, as we just had, it doesn't make sense to go for Trossard. But if you really want to go for a Brighton player, I think Trossard might be the guy. Obviously, they've got Mopai also as the new signing, but for me, not one to be looking at to actually include in the team. So that's Brighton, really. With Southampton, they're having an absolute stinker. They're out of form. They've conceded 5 in their first 2 games. They didn't score away to Burnley. They conceded 3 goals that game. I think Brighton are going to turn Southampton over, in my opinion. They got their only goal of the season from a lucky deflection off of, well, not the deflection, but Adrian basically passed it onto Ings' foot. These 2 teams for me are a complete avoid, but if you had to pick one player out of the 2, I would go for Trossard. Dunk maybe at the back. I do think they will keep a clean sheet this game. I can't see them regularly keeping clean sheets throughout the season, but in my opinion, I'm going to go for a 2-0 Brighton win here, a Dunk clean sheet, and a Trossard goal once again.
So slam dunk yet again. So Ray, for a second time, do you want to go on United and Palace?
2-0 United.
2-0 United. And I'm guessing you want Rashford and Lingard to get those goals.
Absolutely.
Absolutely right.
Nice clean sheet as well.
You heard it. Yeah. Have you got United defender?
No, just keeper. De Gea.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Well,
Ray
Ray's feeding
sounds
up
like he's
there.
had a smoke.
Triple United players, have you, Ray?
Yeah, man.
It's interesting.
That is a guaranteed clean sheet, though, surely, for
Yeah, I mean,
United.
Yeah, definitely.
I might triple up on the defence and just wildcard it, to be honest. Might work out better.
Martial as well.
Play the
Anyone
free
else
hit.
bringing Martial in?
I'm tempted. If I might get rid of Sigurdsson. I'm not sure. I'm putting Martial.
I'm guessing he's gone up in price. He was 7.5 to begin the season, but I reckon
Yeah,
he
he's
must
gone
be.
up. He's 7.6.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm tempted to get rid of Sigurdsson and King, put in Pookie and Martial, but I don't want to chase the form too much.
That sounds very knee-jerky to me, Jordan.
It does, but you know
Yeah.
what? You know what else is even worse than knee jerky? Just sitting there and becoming a vegetable and watching my team become to shit.
Got to take action in these trying times.
Exactly. I need to be an aggressive owner.
What, like Mike Ashley?
Yeah, exactly. I need to be more like Mike Ashley. People always say that about me. I need to be more like Mike Ashley.
Yeah, I get that a lot as well.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. Right, so let's go on to John Ludstrom's Sheffield United against Leicester. I'll do that one. John
Go on, mate.
Ludstrom's Sheffield United. Thank you. They're looking good. They're still on the promotion high. They've got, draw and then that famous win last week, but it was against Palace and their shit. So take it with a pinch of salt. I can't really see anything but a Leicester win here. Leicester were cutting Chelsea open, unfortunately for me. But I think the thing is that Chelsea playing sort of a high line and Leicester are cutting straight through it. But I don't really see Sheffield United going to do that. So it's a bit of a test to see if Leicester can get through a sort of a low block. I think they can. They've got the players for it. But if you look at, someone like Vardy, is it going to suit him? It's maybe going to be something more like Maddison is going to get goals there. But then I'm not Brendan Rodgers, so I don't really know what they're going to do.
So you're Mike Ashley, remember?
Mike Ashley. No, I need to be more like Mike Ashley. I'm not actually Mike Ashley.
You're just Mike at the moment.
Yeah, I'm just Big Mike.
Wait, so are you playing Lundstrom or not?
Am I playing Lundstrom? Yeah, of course I'm playing Lundstrom. Zuma's going to fuck off. He's useless.
See, that's interesting because I've dropped Lundstrom this week.
Yeah. Zuma's got me a point of 1 point. So 2 games. So he's useless. But yeah, this is the time that I need Maddison and all those Leicester players to sort of get points because they've got United, Liverpool and Spurs in their next 3 out of 4 games. So if they're not going to do it this week and next week, then they're gone, basically.
Yeah, I think that's the guillotine is hanging over the Leicester players' heads, isn't it?
Yeah, if they don't do it, they can fucking do one.
Agreed.
Joe, how about West Ham and Watford?
Oh, mate, this is a huge game. Like, if you're put the comments, give me a stream to watch this game. The 16th place West Ham and be the 20th Watford. Like, can't.
I don't know how you're containing your excitement when you're doing this.
Literally. No, it'll be interesting what this game's like. So, obviously, game week 2, I'm not going to. West Ham, they're not looking great, but I saw they didn't have Haller, they didn't have Felipe Anderson, probably their 2 key players, how they're going to be FPL point wise. So if they're fit, I expect Haller to play. I know Hernandez scored, but from what I heard from West Ham fans is he can't hold the ball up. He's just going to be, if you get in the box, he'll be a tapping merchant. So, yeah, I have to look after the team news. Hernandez. So if Hernandez, he can't do the hold-up play, so Haller is quite essential to their gameplay. Watford not doing too great either. They usually hit the ground running around this time, and they fade off towards the end of FPL season. But they've got 0 goals scored, 4 conceded. We know the owner's trigger happy, and when you look at their 3 of the next 4 next fixtures, they're Arsenal, Wolves, and Man City. They could be in a lot of trouble, We'll see how it goes, but I don't think many FPL players, FPL managers have these players in their team, so I'll keep it short and sweet. If Felipe Anderson plays and he does well, it'll be interesting because West Ham fixtures do pick up. I don't think people, if you have got Watford players, get rid of them ASAP because, the fixtures aren't great. Prediction, I'm going to go for a 1-0 to West Ham. It'll be like a dodgy VAR, probably a penalty. But it's
So specific.
you just don't really.
All right.
Right. Sorry, it just ended. He sort of just decided he's done with that one. Mason, go on then. You do Liverpool Arsenal.
Oof, what a
Try and end
game!
on them.
What a game this is going to be. Like Liverpool at home, obviously, Anfield, a bit of a fortress. They're going to come out of the box flying. And obviously Arsenal did the same because they can only attack because that's like where all of the strength in their team is. I think it's going to be a cracking game. Hopefully like a 3-3 thriller with a Salah hat-trick and a fucking Bamiyang own goals. Oh, wait, that'd be 6-0. Anyway, so I think that hopefully Salah's going to make a comeback. It's very rare that he blanks 2 weeks in a row. And they look on form. Their attacking looks strong. Same goes for Arsenal. They look strong as well with little Chibelos in the middle now, pulling the strings. They look very strong with Aubameyang's obviously big-time goal scorer. I mean, how do I predict this game? Any prediction I make is going to be wrong. Like, it's so hard to predict. So I will just stick with the 3-3. And I think it's just going to be a cracking game and everyone just sit back and enjoy it and try not to let fantasy ruin it too much when Salah blanks again. And obviously my double Trent and Robertson combo will now go 3 weeks in a row without any clean sheets. So I have that to look forward to as well.
Yeah, nice investment from all of us there, I think I can say.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So Bournemouth v Man City, joint third v joint third. Jake?
Yeah. Big game for City, in my opinion. Managed to scrape away with a disappointing draw against them North London Whites last week. So you want to see a response there. I can't see any other result apart from a City win, in my opinion. If you look at the last 3 times that City have gone to Bournemouth, they've won 1-0, 2-1 and 2-0. So not huge scorelines, but they do get the win and they've kept a couple of clean sheets and I can see that happening the same again. Bournemouth only managed 31% of the ball against Villa at the weekend, so I just think they're going to see even less of it against City. I think Sterling's going to keep the run of form. In my opinion, he's going to be on the score sheet again. I know a lot of people go for King or Wilson, and I think the best thing to do would be benching him, actually. If you've got another sub on the bench that you can actually play, like Lundstram, I think Lundstram at home to Leicester is a better option than King away at City. That's my opinion, and one I'm going to be certainly looking at. But the notable thing I would say would be Jesus. I think Jesus might start. We mentioned it in the last podcast. Pep and Aguero had little handbags on the side there. So Pep is being Pep. He's rotating, and I think Aguero and Jesus are the next ones to piss off a lot of managers that have got Aguero. So I'm going to go for a 3-0 City win with Sterling on the score sheet.
Well, if that happens, I'll be pretty happy, mate. So
yeah, he's going to be my captain. I'm guessing there'll be quite a few people's captains as well.
Yeah, well, actually, I was going to say, just forgot to mention, Zinchenko at the end of the game against Spurs, he actually went down and looked like he pulled his hamstring, and then they were on there for maybe 5 minutes trying to sort him out, and they couldn't actually take him off. He had to play through, and he was limping a little bit. So I don't know if Zinchenko gets dropped, my team is fucked because they've got that obviously Cancelo geezer that they could play. So
no, they've sorry, Jake. Yeah, I can cut in. It was a dead leg, they're saying, and if not, they've got the Angelino who they brought back. He used to play for them. They put a buyback clause on him, so he's only 5 point. I think he's 5 mil as well. So if Zinchenko actually was hamstring injured and they were just playing it down, then you never know. He could be a shout. But yeah,
apparently that Angelino was diabolical in pre-season.
Well, they've just signed that new guy, haven't they? The new guy.
I think they're more likely to go to 3 at the back, like they did a bit last season, maybe.
They could play Laporte left back. I think Stones is injured as well. You know what? They're in a bit of a crisis, you know.
Yeah. Well, Stones isn't injured. Stones is getting divorced, isn't he? So that's why he's not playing.
Is that a crisis? I wish we had a crisis. If that was a crisis,
literally, if they've only got Otamendi and Laporte as their 2 centre back, and Laporte's got to fill in at left back, then it's not great.
Yeah, but no one ever has a ball against them, so it's like, who cares? They could just play 6-4.
Just put Fernandinho there. Don't worry about it.
Just put VAR up front, then you're fine.
Nah, that's for
Spurs. Not
Spurs.
if you're actually there. Yeah.
Spurs signed him, exclusive deal all year.
Triple captain.
Speaking of Spurs, Ray, any thoughts on Spurs and Newcastle coming up?
gone to bed.
He's gone to bed.
Is that enough?
Is that enough? Well, Joe, seeing as you like Spurs,
Sorry, I was going to sneeze. Right, I'm done. Sorry. I couldn't get to the mute mic quick enough.
Right, this is...
You just thought you'd announce it. Instead of going, I'm going to try and slyly sneeze, you just thought, I'm going to sneeze.
Sorry.
Yeah, right.
Just got too excited because he obviously knew.
Fucking hell, sorry, boys.
Right, Joe, please save us from
Spurs,
this.
Spurs v Newcastle. Like, if you have got Salah and you've got Sterling, like, you're going to struggle to afford Kane as well. But I think Kane is a prime captain opportunity for this game. Newcastle look really bad. I know Spurs sometimes they struggle to break down teams at home and they don't get many goals against teams that are going to do what Newcastle are doing. But looking at their form, you have to see a few goals flying in. One thing to note, if you're getting more in, Heung-min Son, his suspension is now finished. I think he'll start. I think he'll get minutes, Gary, for the North London derby next week. I think it'll be pivotal. I don't know. I don't think many people have Eriksen because his transfer rumours are uncertain. But if he starts next week, I'm pretty sure he's going to stay and he'll become a very viable asset again. Kyle Walker-Peters, 5 mil defence. He'll come back in. You'd expect a clean sheet. Newcastle, I saw the highlights. Like, Joelinton just got no support up front. If you see Norwich doing what they did against them, you have to expect Spurs to get points. So if you have Spurs defensive points, this should be one of the weeks where you get a lot of points. But we'll see. I know Spurs defence is a lot. I think Lamela, he could start 6 mil. He could be a differential. It'll be a good game, hopefully. Not being biased. Hopefully Spurs win 7-0, but we'll see how it goes.
Well, I'd say, Joe, considering that was off the cuff, that's probably the most in-depth preview we've had, so not bad. Wolves v Burnley we'll finish up with, and I'll take that. Burnley looked okay. Ashley Barnes is kind of in form at the moment, but if you're going to pick him or Pookie, I'm guessing most people are going to go with Pookie, so he's, he could be a differential maybe. Wolves have got a very tough away fixture in Europa League against Torino on Thursday, and then they have to play again on the Sunday. So they could be tired, especially as their squad's quite small. I can sort of see this Europa League getting to them if they're not careful. Just as a sort of side thing, I'm a little bit sick of Sean Dyche moaning about people diving and play acting. Anyone else sick of him? Seeing as his players are probably the worst at it.
He's got Sean Dyche.
Sean, what's his name?
Sean Dyche.
Oh, John Dyche. Well, anyway, his players are dirty pricks, and I want Bale to go down now. So, just that was all I wanted to add to that. Really, that's all I got to say about Burnley. Really,
it's weird that because weird that they come out with that because I actually watched highlights of the game and didn't see any diving at all. I watched
the game itself, and there was nothing in it.
Ashley Barnes, man, he is so.
He's the dirtiest player.
Suarez, man, trust me.
Oof, get him in the team.
Yeah,
he's good. He returns, but there's going to be he'll either get bookings simulation soon, or he will get too much ban for diving.
Yeah. All the while, Sean Dyche is going to say that it's unfair and everyone else should be. So yeah, we'll end on that. I now hate Burnley. So thanks for joining us on the Game Week 3 preview. We'll see you all again after the weekend when everything we have just sent will be proved to be complete nonsense. Cheers, guys.
Thanks, Jordan.
All the best, guys. Cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers, Jordan.